Vaksh. Hey Kenny, I'm an aerospace engineer in France and recently got married, so we can't talk to him. Love your podcast, other videos. There's so much stuff happening in India on a regular basis. My parents, like many others, are addicted to contents over social media. As a result, they are kind of non-receptive to any other opinion which doesn't align with theirs. I think these platforms are just isolating like-minded people and amplifying their views exponentially. Every time I try to have the conversation with my parents, the discussion turns into them lashing out and saying, you are already an Angrez and don't know the real problems of India. You don't know anything. I feel it's not just me, but a lot of the young people are struggling to communicate with the older generation without them lashing. Have you struggled with anything similar? And how do you suggest we approach such volatile crowds being our parents? Knowing that ignoring is not a solution because they are close family members or are friends of ours.
So I would distance myself from my parents immediately. No.
Ignoring is an option, I think, very strongly. Because only until a certain point you can try to, like, in your head, show them the light and show them the right way to think. Then after a point, it's like they've had their own experiences and like a much larger sort of.
How old are your parents now?
60 and 63, 58.
Do you still feel like do you have an equal relation with the parents, or they still have a strong say in how you live your life?
Equalish. I mean, they have a say in what time I should come home.
So there will be a consequence to you fighting, no? Like it'll make things really.
Yeah, you'll be grounded, right?
No, I won't be.
No, I mean, I'm like, for example, I'm in not that place. Like I'm fully independent of my parents. So I think if I ruffle their feathers, I have the luxury of like not seeing them for a while and coming
but
home.
that way, that at least like my parents are mature that we'll have a very intense, very high pitched argument about these obviously political beliefs or whatever religious beliefs, and then the next moment we'll be having dinner together and talking about something else. And we have that much that this particular disagreement of ours does not leak into other conversations or this thing.
But
It's
I think
just
that's
a basic
rarity.
reality.
I think you have a nice family.
I agree.
I don't think other people have that where you lash out, and I think that the consequence of that is going to keep leaking into passive aggressive statements like.
Yeah, but statements that you can ignore कि हाँ ठीक है मतलब like you also make passive aggressive statements at them.
I think you don't want your parents to believe that way of thinking. I think that's what breaks your heart. Like
and you're worried about when you're seeing it happen, like them getting stuck in some sort of echo chamber online where you can even like a building society group becomes something else, and then you have to recreate a real building society group because that has become a propaganda group. So it's and you get pulled into it slowly, right? Even we fall prey to it. So imagine parents who to be honest, I spend a lot of time teaching them technology, and now I can't go and now tell them don't use this also. There's too much time. I don't have that kind of patience. But
with a finite time, Shamik interacts with human beings.
I mean, I charge by the hour. But I think personally, I have not had this problem, at least in terms of. On this matter, my parents and I are well aligned. I would say we
really
more or less. No,
they're not.
No, they're like we believe in similar things. In this, we argue about other things like what I'm doing with my life mainly. So that's our focus.
I got that forward also. What Shamik is doing with his life in the society group. And I had to leave that. What about you, Prash?
I think in my case. No, it's and I think about this question a lot. In my case, I only have my mother to deal with, and my mother is a people pleasing person in the sense that she gives up very quickly. Like she will keep believing what she believes in, but for the sake of argument, she won't be like okay. I think it's hurt. What is hurtful is not what they end up consuming. It's like you at the end of it, you see this is what they also want to believe. Like this is something they want to. At the end of it, अगर आपका इतना bombardment of fake news आ रहा है या एक certain type का news आ रहा है, you can see कि their tendency somewhere is to lean towards the narrative that suits them. Right? My mother lives in UP, okay, and you know the narrative that this particular government is doing things for us is easier to believe in than to believe कि हमारे अंदर कुछ ऐसे biases हैं जिससे हमें basically हमें फायदा हो रहा है क्योंकि हमारे कास्ट का आदमी चीफ मिनिस्टर है. So that's something that will never be said, but they will slare it with everything else, and that's a little troubling to see कि आप and my brother has uglier fights with her, he's like कि आप प्रोफेसर हैं, आप पढ़ाती लिखाती हैं, आप आपको तो और and I'm telling him also कि dude you cannot change someone's lived experience, right? So I think what I'm trying to say is that my mother doesn't bother me so much. Even the relatives who probably lean more towards that side don't bother me that much, because I can see that उनका एक lived experience है, and sometimes when I talk to them, you also see that they are willing to.
Yo, if you enjoyed that video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and invest in mutual funds. Very good for you. Bye.
Time for simple